Hello, my name is Jeannine Schrantz, founder of the nonprofit WE CAAN, and I would like to take a few minutes to introduce you to a truly extraordinary person, Guma Richard, the director and founder of the Orphanage and School Foundation for Destitute Children and Youth School, located in Nyango Village near Fort Portal in Western Uganda, Africa. Our story begins with a soccer ball, known as a football in Africa. On New Year's Eve day in 2009, my boyfriend Alan and I were exploring some of the villages outside the Fort Portal area of Uganda, looking for an orphanage we had heard about, so we could give the children one of the soccer balls we'd brought with us as gifts from the United States. We found ourselves on a road that wasn't really a road. We were lost, discouraged, and losing enthusiasm when one of those life-changing accidental moments happened to us. We saw a sign with an arrow pointing down a narrow dirt alleyway, and I jumped out of the car and went in search. I found a small home and not much else, so I peeked through a window and saw curious, beautiful children's faces peering back at me. Moments later, Guma Richard, the director, heard our laughing and came to inspect. We had indeed found the orphanage. I explained I had a football, and did he think the children would like to have it? A silly question, actually, as every child in Africa dreams of having a real football, especially one from the United States. And so began what has become both a magical and mystical journey for us into the lives of Guma and his orphans, and they into our lives.
He was young, he was in Kampala. Then from there, that's where I developed these dreams of establishing a school for the poor children. So I came back home here.
Guma Richard has a grand design matched by his passion and imagination to provide a safe haven, a place to live and to attend school for children whose parents were massacred as a result of civil wars in Western Uganda, or who had died from chronic diseases like AIDS or cancer. Guma knows personally about the challenges of being an orphan. When Guma was 20 years old, he was attending school in Kampala, the capital city of Uganda, working towards an advanced certificate in education when his father passed away. His mother had died years earlier when he was only 9, so now he and his younger siblings were orphans and responsible for taking care of each other. His ambition while attending school had been to dedicate his life towards helping others, primarily children who have been orphaned. Upon his father's death, he had no financial support to continue with his studies, and since he had also inherited the family home in a remote village outside of Fort Portal, he made the decision to fulfill his dream of helping others by turning the family home into an orphanage, offering safety and help to needy and disadvantaged orphans. Guma was only 20 years old when he started FDCYS, whose primary goal is to protect all underprivileged children and youth until they become self-reliant individuals in the future. The country of Uganda is an intensely beautiful and diverse country, with the stunning beauty of the Rwenzori Mountains, known by the locals as Mountains of the Moon, the deep blue waters of amazing crater lakes, national parks with a bounty of unique wildlife, and so much more. And yet, as with many countries in Africa, the ruling party is extremely corrupt, and very little of the wealth derived from their natural resources ever benefits the populace that is in most need of help. Guma felt a personal responsibility to share what little security he had with those orphans who had nowhere else to go and no one to turn to. He opened the orphanage in September 2004 with 15 destitutes, and as time has gone by, that number has increased to 114 children who live there permanently today. The children range in age from newborn to 18 years. However, his housing today is still the same size as when he had only 15 children 9 years ago. Guma and his wife and their 2 daughters, plus other family members, share the same home with the 114 orphans. The entire house is about 700 or 800 square feet. He has built 2 small temporary mud structures that are now used as classrooms where the younger children attend school. We're doing our classroom. Oh, we're doing English today. The older children must leave each morning for school in one of the nearby villages and then return late afternoon for their one meal of the day. In the past 3 years that I have worked with Guma, I have found him to be an honorable man, to give all that he has, which seems so little by our own standards, to these children who have nothing. If the children are starving, so is he. If the children need clothes, so does he. His vision and imagination for a better life for these children has transformed my life and given me greater visions and new directions. I have learned the importance of community help and involvement since working with Guma. In Guma's words, he lists his dreams and goals for FDCYS as follows. I would like my orphanage to be further established to higher levels of education, such as primary and secondary levels. 2, I would like to see these orphans recognized as important personalities in all communities through education. 3, I would like my orphanage to be built in permanent structures, so that it becomes among the strongest orphanages in Uganda and Africa at large. Through the donations and financial gifts that we have been given to date, we have been able to build permanent toilets for their use, as the ones that they had collapsed during a heavy thunderstorm. We have purchased a plot of land where the cows can graze. We are now raising goats and pigs and have an extensive chicken project underway. Another plot of land has been purchased for the development of their permaculture farm. A sewing and weaving cooperative is being initiated to benefit FDCYS as well as the women in the local village. Solar panels have been installed on the house, and they now have a source of light, where before they only had paraffin candles. And our most amazing project, still underway, is the construction of the dormitory and dining hall for the children. We are about 60% complete, and our goal and vision is to have it habitable for the children before the onslaught of their heavy rainy season, which begins in October 2013. There is still much to do, and we are so appreciative of all the help we've been given to accomplish what we have to date. Our hope for the future is to expand into more hands-on volunteer opportunities so people who want to give of their time and talents have a tangible way to work directly with Guma and the children. We want to expand into providing a health clinic and/or medical services. We are striving to incorporate a sustainable income flow as we build an infrastructure of projects and growing crops that they can use to generate income. Guma has discussed the importance of building their own school on the property so they can offer quality education to the children, as well as accepting paying students from the nearby villages. The more time I spend with Guma and the children at the orphanage, the more deeply committed I become to helping him achieve his vision and dream. This is one of the main reasons why I started WE CAAN Inc., an acronym for Wellness and Education for Children and Adults of African Nations. Our vision for WE CAAN is to merge self-sustaining practices and technology of farming, housing, education, and medical services, while honoring and respecting the traditions and cultures of the African people. To build a bridge using the best of both of our cultures to enhance children's lives and to show them a way out of starvation and into lives of self-reliance and self-sustainability. Our end goals for the projects we partner with are they are to become self-reliant, self-sufficient, and self-sustainable upon completion. Our 501c3 nonprofit designation gives us the charitable status to continue to work in a larger way to help those projects in Africa that we are passionate about, and also to offer charitable tax deductions to companies and people making contributions. 100% of all contributions and proceeds directly benefit FDCYS. No administration expenses are deducted. I invite you to join with us in doing all we can to help make Guma's dreams and visions become a reality.